Hello everyone, Daybreak, Utah. What is it? Is it for you and your family? It's really one of the most sought out communities in Salt Lake City. So let's dive in. Daybreak, Utah. Welcome to Daybreak, South Jordan's innovative master plan community built on reclaimed mining land. Today we're going to explore what makes Daybreak special and what might not be for everyone. So first and foremost, what is Daybreak? Daybreak sits on a former mining land. The area was formerly the site of Kennecott Mine, one of the world's significant copper, gold, and silver mines. After extensive cleanup efforts made by Kennecott Land and other regulatory agencies, the land transitioned from industrial use to residential communities. What does Daybreak mean? Why did they name it that? Well, Daybreak carries a symbolic meaning. It's meant to embody a new beginning to the land and also to its residents. So it was launched back in 2004, over 20 years ago now, and now it's home to over 12,000 residents, with another 20,000 units and millions of square feet of commercial space planned. So there's a lot of growth potential in the area of Daybreak. Well, let's talk about the pros and cons as usual. What are the cons? One of the biggest cons is probably the cost of homes and the HOA. HOA fees range from $130 to $150 a month, often covering internet and amenities. Some love it, others don't. Others actually hate it. Now, HOAs are strict design guidelines and enforced rules, which can feel restrictive. Some feel that the community is too similar, planned, polished, and maybe even lacking diversity. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Homes are closer together, streets can feel crowded, and parking is tight. Now, several residents mentioned narrow roads and parking challenges. I live in Daybreak right now. My wife and I are actually renting a townhome. We're getting ready to move away from Daybreak. We've lived there for about a year and a half. We absolutely love it. The trails, I think the homes are diversified. I don't see that it's a cookie cutter kind of community. Of course, I came from Florida, and if you want to see cookie communities, they're cookie cutter communities. That's the whole state of Florida, which makes it nice, but also it can lack diversity. If any of you from the East have been to New England, the New England area, Daybreak is kind of copying that. That's what I see. The colors, the style of the homes is very New Englandish. For all you West Coast people, go to New England, you're going to know what I'm talking about. New England has that community feel, but that's what Daybreak is like. It's all built on a lake. The lake runs throughout almost the whole community, and the homes definitely have that New England feel. Now, the nice thing is the colors aren't the same. The city of Utah really is strict about that they don't want two homes that look exactly alike right next to each other. So that's a little bit of diversity there. The colors cannot be the same. So there is diversity, but one thing is the homes are close together. You don't have a huge backyard, but the views are just spectacular. So that can be a con, the lack of diversity, the HOA. The HOA is going to prohibit you from, for example, putting in a fence that doesn't match the community. They want you to match the colors. The HOA, $130 to $150, depending on if it's just the HOA for the entire community, or maybe you have a private HOA in your little neighborhood. So it's not too bad. They do a lot. There's a nice clubhouse, a gym, several pools throughout the whole community, and the landscaping is fantastic. They do a really good job with that. So let's talk about another con. That's the commute and also transit limitations. So in other words, city transportation. Light rail is convenient, but driving elsewhere, like Silicon Slopes of the Mountains, often clogs local roads. So Daybreak is far west, so you're going to have to travel east and west, and there are not a lot of roads yet for going back and forth to east and west. So if you're into skiing, there's going to be a longer commute, and for the ski slopes, or even get to the east side mountains, which is called the Wasatch Front. Well, again, I always feel that there's more pros than cons. Again, my wife and I lived in Daybreak for about 1.5 years. We loved it. So let's talk about some pros. The amenities and recreation. There's a 67-acre lake. Remember I mentioned that basically the whole community is built on this lake, 67 acres. Now along this lake, there's trails, there's parks, there's pools, there's pickleball courts. Daybreak offers extensive outdoor recreation. Species in the lake include bass, trout, and bluegill. And yes, you can fish. I am aware that you can fish without a license, even though you have to throw the fish back. If you get a license, you can keep it. Another really huge pro is walkability and transit. Everything's within a 5-minute walk. You have cafes, schools, the tracks. It's really, really planned out well. The Red Line Tracks provides direct access to downtown and the University of Utah, and you can get there on tracks in just about an hour. Nice community vibe. Residents rave about the social culture, weekly concerts, food trucks, a vibrant wine club, and also other festivities that take place. So it's a very social community. Summer concerts every weekend, farmers market every Saturday. So it really has that nice community vibe. And you may have heard that we do have a AAA team here in Salt Lake, right? It's the Bees. Well, they just built a new stadium in Daybreak. I live about 5 minutes from there, about a 5-minute bike ride, about a 10-15-minute walk. And they've also have outdoor concerts there. Very, very nice. Sometimes at the stadium, they'll do movie night. Last week they did Star Wars. So there's really a nice community vibe. So if you're into that kind of thing, if you want to just walk to the grocery store, you can actually do that. I live 2 minutes from a grocery store. It's called Harmon's. It's one of the biggest grocery stores out here. Pizza place right down the street. My wife and I just ordered pizza on Saturday. I walked and got it. So their walkability is no problem. So what do the residents have to say? Well, I'd just like to share with you a couple of comments from residents. One resident said, "I moved, have no regrets. The views are awesome. HOA amenities are great." He also said, "If you don't like people, Daybreak is probably not the best place for you." One did say it's a long commute, hard to get to, but again, the views are fabulous. Homes are quite closer together. So the question is Daybreak right for you? Because it's not for everybody, right? The community, the close living community is not for everybody. So if you love active living, want community engagement, walkable convenience, growing amenities, again, like the new ballpark and stadium, then yes, Daybreak is for you. So think twice if you prefer privacy, spacious lots, independent rules, or budget concerns around HOA and parking. So if you do not like an HOA, if you want to be independent, not in a community, then Daybreak is probably not the best place for you. So just in closing, what can we say about Daybreak? Well, in short, Daybreak is an inspired, tightly built community with tremendous social and recreational perks, but it's not for everyone. Evaluate your priorities, connection and convenience versus space. If you're curious, drop a comment or ask us to show you around next time. I would love to show you. I helped a couple last year buy a house in Daybreak, and they absolutely love it. So again, it's not for everybody, but hopefully you learned something about Daybreak in this small video that I prepared. Again, if you would like to see a home or you'd like to know more about Daybreak or another community in the Salt Lake Valley area, please don't hesitate to reach out. I've put my QR code right here on the screen. You can take a screenshot, you can QR code that and set up an appointment, and we can help you with a free consultation. Okay, everybody, that was Daybreak. Everybody have a great week. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for joining. Bye.